Welcome to Letting Go University. Today we're going to do a release on what is the last judgment. So this is the reading between lesson 310 and 311 in the Course in Miracles workbook. And in Christianity, traditional Christianity, there's whole branches of Christianity that are based on this idea that there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to burn in the last judgment, and that there's going to be a few people who are special, and they're going to be okay, but everybody else is totally screwed. A friend was sharing with me that his daughter's grandmother was talking about how his daughter's mom was going to burn in hell. And here's a 6-year-old girl, and she's told that mommy's going to burn in hell for being who she is. And this programming that we buy into in our innocence, we're young, innocent, naive children, and we hear people talk about how bad we are, how terrible we are, and we buy into it, and then we live in fear for our whole lives. One small lie believed, one twist on the truth believed, can lead people to be waylaid for lifetimes. Are you concerned about what's going to happen to you, how you're going to be judged by God? Are you living in a relationship of fear with God, or a holy relationship of love with God, oneness with God, atonement? It's okay. It's okay. We've all been programmed with all kinds of falsity, and to just let it go. What the Course in Miracles is saying here in what is the last judgment is that all of this is just no big deal. It's no deal at all. What's happening is in the last judgment, it says it quite simply here, God's final judgment: you are still my holy son, forever innocent, forever loving, and forever loved. As limitless as your creator, and completely changeless and forever pure. Therefore awaken and return to me. I am your father, and you are my son. So I've heard the qualities of God stated as infinite mercy, infinite patience, infinite love, infinite beauty. And let's just get real. A bunch of people don't know what they're talking about. Yet they're doing the best they can. They're saying what they believe is right. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Has anything ever seemed like a good idea at the time, or seemed true at the time to you? And then you discovered it wasn't. So could you let go of this idea that somehow God is going to punish you for anything? Sin is a concept of the ego. It doesn't exist. It's mentalization. You are still my holy son, forever innocent, forever loving, and forever loved, as limitless as your creator, and completely changeless and forever pure. That's God's final judgment. So let's just take up any fear of disjudgment and let it go. It's okay. In the collective unconscious, there's a ton of fear of God, of hell, of sin and guilt. So let's just bring any of that stuff up that we've picked up and just let it go and be forever innocent, his holy son. What is the last judgment? So this last judgment is your promise of complete freedom from the world you made. Everything is forgiven as if it never was. And there's this infinite, powerful love for you. For you, whatever the ego wants to try and convince you, it's going to keep you separate from love, keep you separate from God, keep you out of heaven, is not. You are at one with your Father. And could you just take a moment to allow yourself to be at one with the source of love? Get a taste of the final judgment. Love is, truth is, reality is, all this other stuff is not. That's it. And could you allow up any of this programming you have adopted in your innocence other than that? Fear of God, fear of being punished, fear of burning, fear of sin. I'm not good enough. I'm not going to catch the bus to heaven. Any of that stuff. Or any of that you've put on others. For what you give, you receive. It's not done to you, it's your choice. And could you just allow up the feeling behind these thoughts of damnation, of hell, of punishment? Any fear of God's judgment? Just letting the thoughts pass by, letting the feeling come up. Just letting this energy come up. I had plenty of fear coming up yesterday. Because yesterday I chose to spend the day in love. So what comes up? Anything other than that, to be forgiven, to be released. Could you just let this feeling come up? Choosing your final judgment to be love and heaven, innocence. Let up any of the fear, any of that garbage programming from people who just didn't know what they were talking about, just passing on program to program. Could you allow that feeling up and relinquish it? Surrender it to God. Now, you don't have to. It's just a choice. Would you surrender any fear of the judgment of God to Him? Just turn it over. And just letting this energy run out. The fear energy there's plenty of it. So rather than run from it or try and deny it, how about just letting it up and surrendering it, giving it up? Could you just keep surrendering this fear of judgment? Fear of being attacked, fear of being burned, condemned. Just letting that up. The last judgment is that you are still holy and innocent, forever loving, forever loved, as limitless as your Creator and completely changeless and forever pure. That is God's final judgment. Is that true? Wow. You can just ask him anytime, by the way. And could you notice any of this old programming, any fear of the judgment of God? Just let it up. Just look what's been stored in the unconscious. Acknowledge it and notice the feeling. And could you open up and just start to enlighten that feeling? Just let any fear come up. Let any guilt come up. Any feeling that's coming up, could you just let it come up and just light it up? Let this feeling run. Let it move. And could you let it go? Would you let go of this fear and the programs of some wicked, evil, angry, final judgment? Just let that go. When could you let go of the judgment predicted from fear, guilt? Just letting that go. So many of us have been programmed with conceptions not from the Course in Miracles workbook. And it's okay. You know, you're a young kid, you're in church, or you're with parents, or you're with grandma, and they tell you you're gonna burn. You're sinful, you're evil. And we take it to heart. We, in our innocence, adopt it. We cover up our heart, cover up our love, cover up our innocence. And we never got the message that God's final judgment is that you are holy, innocent, loving, and loved forever. Forever. Did anybody tell you that as a kid? And so could you let up this feeling behind the negative depictions of God? The fear stories of God's final judgment, of Judgment Day. Just let any of that up. Any of this feeling of sinfulness or guilt or fear. Just opening it up, ignoring all the stories, all of the ego's attempts to justify fear and guilt and sin. Could you just ignore the stories and feel the feeling? Let that feeling come to light. Could you allow that feeling to run without judging the feeling? The thoughts pop up, just thoughts. The feeling's there, just a feeling, letting the thoughts drift by, feeling that feeling. And just releasing it. It's your choice. Could you release this fear, these negative programs of God's judgment? Would you let go of the fear or whatever it is of God's judgment. Just would you let it go? When could you let it go? Because this is God's final judgment. You are still my holy son, forever innocent, forever loving, and forever loved, as limitless as your Creator, and completely changeless and forever pure. Therefore awaken and return to me. I am your Father, and you are my Son. And could you just allow yourself to permit God's true final judgment that you are holy, innocent, loving, and loved forever. Would you live a life of fear if you were told that as a young child? If that was the message you got at church? That you are holy, innocent, loving, and loved forever? That you are God's son? That you are limitless as your Creator, and completely changeless and forever pure? This is your message for your sons, for your brothers. This is what you are here to deliver to the world. Changeless, forever love. Could you let go of resisting love's judgment, God's judgment of purity and innocence and love eternal, and give what you have? There are many of God's sons who have been misled. Could you be the last judgment in the world? The presence of love. Well done releasing. Thank you so much for joining us, and have the best day.